and check. Fantastic. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the BJ Factory podcast. I believe this is episode 7 or 6, one of those. Today is actually going to be just me and Danny here. Our friend Jake unfortunately died. So, kind of sucks. But anyway, just kidding. He's in traffic.
Yeah.
But Danny.
Same thing.
Yeah, same fucking thing. Oh, also special appearance by Dennis. Hey, bud. Hey,
Dad?
Dennis.
Is that you?
Hi. Hey, Dennis. Hello. Do you see me?
He's like, you fucking left me here with you.
Yeah, you fucking prick. There you go back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about today. We're going to condense it into a short format here today because we're talking about some shit, and that shit is the shit show that was the Jake Paul fight. Danny, did you watch the entire, the event?
Absolutely not. I was like live.
Okay, good.
I was watching the live Twitter.
Yes, I was watching some kid on TikTok. That was
and people were talking about fucking like the performances kept coming out, and I was like, damn, when's the fight? And then Ric Flair was there, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Okay, so I think it was I remember seeing somewhere that 9 o'clock the pay-per-view was going to go off. And I knew that a bunch of kids were going to stream it on TikTok. So I was like, I'm just going to go on there and just see it for a second. So going at 9 o'clock, and there's I think it was around that time, the whole Pete Davidson thing was happening. And So I was watching him fuck with all the people. And then a boxing match went off. And at that time, I switched it over. And then I came back 2 hours later. And then it's Doja Cat or some shit. Straight up performing. It was what the fuck? And then I fell asleep, admittedly, and woke up right before it happened. And then, dude, Ben didn't do shit.
That's
I mean, we all kind of saw that coming, right?
I mean, when he walked up like this to the weigh,
that wasn't a good look by any means. No. Dude, did you see the shit beforehand? Because in boxing, one of the trainers, the coach, or somebody from one team will go to the other guy's room and they'll watch them wrap their hands. So no funny business happens, just kind of a tradition thing amongst boxing. But anyway, Tyron Woodley is really good friends with Ben Askren, one of his training partners. So Tyron goes into Jake Paul's locker room to watch him get his hands fitted. And then right when he walks in, Jake Paul starts talking shit to Tyron. And then this random dude that was a part of Jake's team, a boxer apparently, just starts shitting on Tyron for no apparent reason. And everybody is so uncomfortable with the fact dude, Tyron would kill any of these dudes at any
Tyron
point.
Would eat all of the dudes.
All of them. And he sucks right now.
Yeah.
But he would still destroy them. And even Daniel Cormier was livid of how they were talking to Tyron. So I saw Jake Paul called out Daniel Cormier, but DC said he wouldn't do it. Damn it.
Nah, DC's got some self-respect.
Yeah, exactly. But okay,
I think DC could beat him though. But
I think DC would give him a damn good fight. Well, okay, so here's the next question I have after that. So we can all agree that was an absolute shit show. Nobody thought that Ben was truly gonna win, but you kind of hope. You just a little glimmer of hope. But anyway, what's done is done. Who does that fucking kid fight next? You know what I mean? You can't give him a legitimate boxer. You know what I mean? Because if you're working at an actual boxing record, normal boxers do nowadays, you pad your record, until have a decent name for yourself and are getting the big money fights. But you need to pad your record all that time leading up to it. So who else could pad Jake Paul's record? Who's a big name that can't fight?
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind, and he already has a history. He has a WWE title under his belt. Actually, is Rob Gronkowski, who is semi ready to retire, kind of in the same general boat as Ben. Recently active. I mean, Gronk just won the Super Bowl again, he was on his way out. Or is on his way out. So I mean,
that's an interesting name.
As far as star power, I guess. And I mean, the
star power's there. Is this just off the top of the head, or has Gronkowski actually mentioned anything?
No, this is absolutely just off the top of my head. I mean, I want Amanda Nunes, but that's not gonna happen.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think about Henry Cejudo?
I mean, didn't Jake Paul say he wasn't famous enough? I would love to see it
But because
happen.
if you think about it, and logistically though, Henry Cejudo, I don't think technically isn't under UFC contract right now
No, he's not. He's gone.
since he's retired. You know what I mean? But
And I mean,
I don't know if
granted,
like
there's like
how
a foot of height difference, but I mean that seems to be
that seems to be a
Paul's
pretty
play.
good.
There's always got to be a handicap. Ben was
Yeah,
out of shape. The basketball player was a stick.
Henry's a wrestler, but he does
Yeah,
have hands. He
he
can
has hands
definitely
and he has a
box.
chin. He does have a chin.
Has a hell of a chin. He's
Yeah,
still in his prime for sure.
for sure. Yeah,
I don't think Jake would take that fight.
no.
Maybe, you know, I don't know. He
I mean,
mentioned
Henry's already called him out.
Henry did
Uh,
call him out. He won't fight Sugar Sean. I think they're cool. If I'm not
yeah,
mistaken, I
I would
saw
love
them.
to see him fight Sean though.
Sean would
Love
fucking
Sean.
rip him
Yeah,
apart. Dude, he looks so good in that last
he
fight.
does, dude. I forgot to say it on the last episode, but that whole fight for some reason, all I could think of was Jake. Why does he look just like Jake?
Dude,
Swindle?
I've been saying that, man. I said that in
Yeah.
the first podcast episode. I swear to God, this kid reminds me of Jake so much.
He
Like,
does, and like I've seen Jake throw down a little bit because like in
yeah,
college
you said like
sometimes,
he's gotten into some altercations.
and I was like, is that Sugar Sean?
Dude, I swear, like tall, skinny white kid
Yeah,
in the facial features actually does kind of look like Sugar Sean. Sugar Sean's just a way uglier version of Jake, essentially, with tattoos and curly hair.
yeah, got the color
Same
going,
thing.
the rainbow going.
Attitude, fuck you,
Yeah.
pretty much the same. I could see it.
Yeah,
Let's see, what's another you so okay, so I think the KSI fight, you remember
Mhm.
KSI, right? That
Yeah.
fought the brother. Like I think that fight's out in the wind now. I don't think because I'm pretty sure he'd get his fucking ass kicked by Jake Paul.
yeah. No, that
If you don't remember that last one, like him or neither him nor Logan look good. You know
no,
what I mean? Boxing.
absolutely
Jake
not.
actually looks pretty legitimate now.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
it's been like
all
3
credit
years.
to Jake. He's young enough to be able to switch gears like that and get into a decent shape. So
Yes, that
I
is
mean,
true.
good shape. He looked great.
No, I mean
Um,
you can't take away the fact that he can throw down. My
yeah,
homie
I
can
mean,
box for sure. Like, and not pro status. We'll see.
yeah, we'll see. But like that's the thing. He did switch with a decent amount of age to get better. So I mean, we're just gonna see him get better
Yeah.
until someone rocks his shit and like
Then
throws
it's
it
just done.
out.
Yeah, it's over after that.
Yeah, because once he loses once, I mean, that kind of ruins the mystique of the switchover.
Yeah, no. Once he loses once, it's done. But if he's gonna take a fight where he has a real pretty damn good chance of losing, it better be worth fucking millions.
Yeah, it
to
better
him.
be like fucking Guy Fieri or something. Like it needs to be
I was
the
gonna say Conor
craziest-
McGregor, but I mean, Guy could probably fucking throw down.
Yeah,
I would not be surprised.
Gordon
But, okay.
Ramsay fucking swinging in there. Gordon Ramsay's
Ram-
kind of fit.
Ramsey, I'd be kind of scared of. I think he trains. I wouldn't
Yeah,
be surprised in the
He's,
slightest.
he's built. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Ramsey's built. Looking fucking good. All right. Let's move on, people. We're going from boxing back to our forte of MMA. There was a card last Saturday. It happened to be the same time as the Jake Paul fight, and that actually seemed a little more interesting at the time. So I think, admittedly, neither of us watched this card.
No.
I caught all the highlights
Yeah.
and saw everything. And from what I saw, there was no good. I don't even think. Yeah, there wasn't a knockout on the main card at all.
I don't think so. No.
Boring.
Yeah.
Fucking Andre Arlovsky, Chase Sherman was the co-main. Like, whatever. But the Whitaker Gastelum fight kind of played out pretty much how I thought it would, which was Robert just like technically outclassed Kelvin and whatnot, but he didn't beat him to a point where you're excited to see the rematch, him versus Israel. Does that make sense?
No. Yeah, it's like, Robert did his thing as a veteran, as a master of like his craft, but it just wasn't a resounding victory. And so it's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I guess he's got some momentum, but not nearly as much as you want coming into like a rematch.
I think Dana said that he's going to give him the whatchamacallit, the rematch with Izzy. That's next. But
But it's
He-
like also who else gets it? Like at this point, like
But it's all you got to think at the same time. Like, say he beats Izzy. Let's just say he beats Izzy by decision, right? How
Mhm.
awful would that be for the middleweight division? Like, just boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so full. There goes all of Izzy's star power, gone. Like the only other person that carries like a good amount of weight, star power wise, in that division right now, I think, is Till, which I think he's got a fight. He did have a fight, and then he had to pull out, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's still injured, right?
Yeah, or that
Yeah,
was
and
pretty
also
recent.
like we were talking about it a couple episodes ago that like Izzy's doing his best to like build the star power, and a loss to Whitaker would just kill it immediately
Yeah,
because
that
he's
would.
not quite there yet to where a
No.
loss wouldn't destroy it all.
hmm Not like to the Connor status when he lost to Nate Diaz. He didn't lose any
Yeah.
stake in his name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, unless he loses to him in like a crazy war, which probably won't happen. But
If Connor gets knocked out again versus Poirier, like stock way down for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Then he's retired fighter status at that point. Definitely not GOAT status by any means. I mean,
or
Connor's
Woodley status, just
Oh,
he just keeps
Jesus.
rolling with the
I start
list with the
feeling
losses.
bad for Woodley after a while. God damn. What is
I
that,
know, love the
4 in a
dude. I love
row?
him as a person, but yeah, 4 in a row.
I don't even like him that much as a person. I just like, God damn.
Yeah, and it's so far from like the Wonder Boy fights that we saw. That was one of the first fights I ever saw with you.
Right?
Like
Yeah, man.
his first fight with.
What? Was it the very first one or the rematch?
No, we saw the first one where it was a draw. Like that, I
Oh,
think that
that's
was like
when
the
we went to Tyler's house that night.
yeah.
Yeah, in Hollywood. That was pretty fun. That was a good one. That was oh dude, that was an infamous night. That's when Connor
Yeah, that was a
knocked
Connor
out
fight too.
fucking Eddie Alvarez. We were
Yeah,
tanked.
great night. Yeah,
Oh, that was
I drank so many Stellas
oh
that night.
fucking you and said he went
Represent.
fucking ham that night. I remember now. I had to carry your back. You guys were fucking trashed.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about so anyway, recap last UFC fight. One of those filler cards. It was a
Yeah.
filler card for sure.
It's a fight night leading up to a great
Exactly. Now let's get talking. So let's talk about this main event. Or we'll talk about the main card. Excuse me. We'll go bottom to top. Okay, here we go. Come on. Alrighty, Anthony Smith leading us off against Jim Crouch. Or Crute? I can never remember. Lionheart. Who's the last person Lionheart fought?
Ooh,
Let me see here. It's been a while. Ever since he lost to John Jones, like nobody really cared after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm pulling up his record, and I can't. Oh, here you go. Yeah, he's got a loss against Rakic. I just remember that one. Smith versus Teixeira. I don't remember that one.
Me neither.
Why doesn't it say whether he won or lost? Whatever. Anyway, that fight's kind of just what light heavyweight. Light heavyweight's kind of boring right now. Well, I mean, Jan's there. Jan's fighting Glover, so that'll be a okay fight. I want Jan. Love Glover.
Totally. Love me some Jan.
Yeah, everybody loves Jan. He's the best. Okay, so now we'll start getting interesting after that one. Then we get to Chris Weidman. R.I.P., man. Uriah Hall. So, poor Chris Weidman, man. He's had a rough past, 3 years or something like that. This poor bag, he's 15-5-0. And I think, those 5 have been, all in a row or something.
Yeah, it was like back. It was like a Woodley thing, but
it was a Woodley thing for sure.
Not as big of a fall from grace.
I think he had a he had a win over Akhmadov. Fucking no name. Wyatt Reyes beat him before that. Jacare knocked Weidman the fuck out. I remember that one. That one was sad. Weidman beat Gastelum. That one was a fucking technicality. I remember that shit. And then Mousasi beat Weidman. Romero beat him. That was that same night as the Woodley Wonder Boy fight. That one. So, what if Weidman doesn't win this fight? He's done. well, I don't know if I should say that, but it's just like, dude's got to be like almost 40, 37, 36, I would
Yeah.
guess.
And I mean, if you're getting up there and then like starting to lose, then I mean,
Yeah, right? Like,
the
what's it
tail's in the
worth at
pudding.
that point?
Yeah.
How many more fights do you have to take to get to the top? Are you willing to go through that many more wars, you know?
Yeah, unless you're like, unless you're like you got your Cowboy Cerrones where people just love watching
Yes.
him fight and they stand behind him. He can lose a million times, and it's like, but that's our guy.
Even Cowboy Cerrone, though, I'm also on the fence of like, should be retiring.
Yeah.
Do not
Yeah, yeah.
take any more fights. Like, we love you. Don't do it. But
Yeah,
anyway,
so Weidman's 36. So I mean, he's not
36.
that old, but like
Yeah, you're right.
he's already on the downtrend.
He's
So
coming out of the prime for sure.
yeah, yeah.
But I'm taking Uriah Hall on that fight. I want Weidman, but I think Uriah Hall is gonna be a little more sharp. He looked pretty good in his last fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to take him too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 9 and 11 on their ranks. Uriah's a 9.
Uriah ninth.
Yep, but 11. Okay, so moving on after this, that one, Valentina Shevchenko taking on Jessica Andrade. R.I.P. Andrade.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't see Andrade touching her.
No, it's like Andrade is also someone who's like who's been slipping for a little bit. Like she's just not as good as
Agreed.
She once was. And Valentina, I mean, we haven't seen her fight in a bit, I think because of COVID, right? Like she just couldn't come over. But I mean, I'm sure she's still a killer.
Absolute killer. Well, Andrade, she lost to Weili, and then I think she lost against Rose again.
Yeah, she lost against
that rematch. How'd she get a title fight at flyweight?
I don't know. Why? Yeah, why isn't? I mean, technically Rose has her title fight too, but
I think there's no flyweights, honestly, that can even have a shot at defending or even taking on Valentina. So like, fuck it, let's just give it to Andrade. She can make the weight.
Whatever. Yeah. So Andrade's changed weight, right, for this one?
Yeah. So she'll be fighting at 125, where her previous ones. And let me just look real quick. I believe all of her previous ones have been at straw weight, 115. But let me see here. Okay, she won against. Oh yeah, I remember Chikagian. That was. I'm pretty sure that was flyweight. So I think she's had one fight in flyweight. Yeah, the other one, against Rose, that was strawweight for sure, and then Weili was strawweight. But anyway, I see her getting the brakes beat off her by Valentina.
Yeah, unless they get knocked out.
Yes, because Andrade is pretty tough. She comes forward, and I think that's going to be her downfall. Is trying to get on the inside of Valentina, and Valentina's just going to crack her. Step to the side, absolutely crack her.
I am excited to see her fight again, though. It's been
all the champ fights are going to be great.
Oh yeah,
I'm super stoked on these. Next one, Weili versus Rose. Good fight.
Yeah, as much as, and we've talked about this before. Like, we're not always big Rose fans.
No, I'm still not.
She's hell of a fighter.
Yeah. No, I see. I think I see Rose taking this one, even though I don't.
Oh, really?
That.
Nice.
I think I do. I'd rather see Weili hold on to the belt for sure, but I find her fighting style to be very similar to Andrade when she fought her, kind of. Very in your face, not so stick and move. I think Rose is just going to poke her on the outside for a while and then take her to the ground, choke her out.
Okay, so submission then.
Submission, I think.
Yeah,
that's the way she'll go.
Weili, if she pulls like a Jessica and just surprises Rose, I think she could knock her out. But you're right. I think if Rose can get her on the ground, because Rose is like a better wrestler right now than like Joanna is, and Joanna tried to wrestle her a little bit, I think, in their fight, which was amazing. I love that fight.
I think Weili's more known for stand-up. I don't think she has a background in wrestling or jiu-jitsu. So I would assume that Rose is definitely going to have the bigger advantage, especially jiu-jitsu on the ground.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, fucking the fight no one really fucking wants, but we'll watch it regardless. Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal.
Yes, sir.
Dude, you know what? To be honest, I want fucking Kamaru Usman.
Yeah.
Fuck
Oh yeah.
Jorge, man.
Like
He's been doing too much lately.
Yeah, like I was very much behind him after the Ben Askren thing, but I mean,
During the whole Ben Askren shit and all of that, you know, but then now he's like hanging out with Jake Paul and shit. Like he's doing Trump rallies, like whatever, but goddamn, dude.
Yeah, and it's like,
where's the street thug we all
I'm totally
love?
down for Kamaru to lose, but definitely not to Jorge. Like, especially after he like destroyed him in their first fight. I mean, not destroyed him, but I mean, it was pretty one-sided.
Yeah. Kamaru could have done whatever he wanted to Jorge in that fight after the second round.
Yeah, which I'm hoping happens now, because I think he's like ready to put this to bed. Like, he don't want no trilogy.
I want to see Kamaru knock him out.
Yeah,
if he knocks him out, that'd be. And also, I don't, like we've mentioned in the last podcast, do not like Kamaru Usman.
Yeah.
Not my favorite champ by any means. Having said that, I'll give that motherfucker a round of applause for the activity from this champion. Credit where credit is due.
A fighting champion.
Hands down the most active champ this year, for sure. And last year, if I'm not mistaken. Credit.
Yeah.
Because he's giving the fans what they want when it's just fucking fights. So, good on him. I will say that. Good fucking on him.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I think that is going to be it for those ones. I think, I'm not even going to talk about any fights after that because we got to get through these main ones. Because this is going to be pretty fucking big.
Yeah, because this could change, like, if this could be 3 new champions.
Mm-hmm. A lot of
crazy-ass night. But
you remember, were you there with Kyle and I the one night we went to Ireland 32s out in NoHo? And it was the Michael Bisping, GSP, TJ Dillashaw, Cody, No Love first fight. I don't think you were with us.
No, I wasn't with you guys. No.
Yeah, we went on to that one. And that one, the 3 championships fights, and all 3 titles changed over. It was it was such a good card.
Why wasn't I? I was probably working or something.
You had to have been working.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have missed that just because.
Good. Which, speaking of which, can we all just throw an F in the chat? R.I.P. to ArcLight. R.I.P.
R.I.P. ArcLight. For those of you who don't know, best movie theater in L.A.
Yo, no. Best movie theater ever. Hands down, man. ArcLight was the shit. Mainly because we didn't have to pay for tickets. But other than, dude, the customer service, they're all film nerds that work there. I'm more than happy to share with their cinematic experiences with you. Great staff, great people. That it
great
will be
bar,
missed,
dude. That bar,
great bar.
So good. I used to get trashed at that bar, and then go see a movie.
Dude, what's gonna happen to the dome? What's gonna go in there? Like,
if we're lucky, like I'm like hoping that Tarantino and Nolan just go halvesies on it and like turn it into some fucking, like, I don't know, film.
Gotta be right.
Movie theater.
I could see that happening, right, Dennis? You could see that happening. Hey, bud.
I'm surprised he's stuck around. He likes the conversation. Good conversation. And also with that, a quick word from our sponsor, guys.
Yes.
What's up, everybody? All of us at the BJ Factory just want to give a loving shout out to the sponsor of today's video. You love her, you hate her, she's got an Oscar, she's got a Grammy, she'll take you to the edge of glory, and you really don't want to get into a bad romance with this little monster, teaming up with America's favorite cookie, Oreos. These 2 titans of pop culture have teamed up to create a limited edition line of Lady Gaga Oreos inspired by Gaga's new album, Chromatica. Go out and get yours today.
And we're back. Thank you, lady.
Thank you, El Gaga.
Thank you, Miss Senora Gaga. All right, guys, we appreciate you checking in with us for this short little podcast. We will hit you guys up right after this card. What's this going to be? UFC 261. Yeah. We will hit you guys up right after 261 to talk about, hopefully, if some titles have changed over, but maybe not. We will see. But, yeah, from Brad and Danny Dennis, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Deuces. Lovely.